Okay, so for my reaction and recap to last night's episode of the challenge, previously we saw that underwhelming challenge where Leroy and Casey won easily, and house vote was Gabby and Corey. Leroy and Casey throw in Nany and Kyle. Nany decides to steal Fessy, and Kyle gets Anissa, Big T gets Corey. Nany, so thrilled to have Fessy. Fessy, so thrilled to have Nany. Fessy goes to talk to Anissa, tells her he loves her and that she's still gonna go to the final. Everything's cool and great, and it's just like, yeah, whatever. The Kyle-Anissa pairing is actually pretty interesting and funny since, they've kind of had beef. Kyle has talked a lot about Anissa behind her back, called her dead weight. Anissa and Fessy did blindside Kyle, so yeah, it's a lot. It was funny when Kyle was calling Anissa dead weight. He's like, oh, I'm sorry that I called you dead weight, and I'm sorry for bringing it up now. Darrell, Leroy bonding over not wanting to lose their skull, obviously. Corey goes up to them, he's working early and hard. So before even the challenge, he's saying, okay, guys, I want to be the house vote, so let's make it happen. And they're like, it's like too early to be talking about that. Anissa and Kyle pretty screwed if they do not win the challenge this week. Seems like they're easy targets. And if they do win, what would they do? Like I said, Corey working it, he also talks to Anissa and tells her he wants to go in. He was saying that he wants to go against Kyle, who's her partner. So mission Undercover challenge, diving into cold water. It seemed difficult. A lot of them couldn't get it done. So yeah, they basically have to get rings and they can't come up for air. And then once they get their rings, they have to solve some puzzle. Since Casey and Leroy won last week, they get to pick the order this week. Of course, they put Anissa and Kyle first, which is a huge disadvantage. They get their rings, don't get disqualified, and then they go and solve the puzzle. They thought they got it, but then they didn't, and they eventually got it though. That light bulb just lit up in Kyle and he was like, decode! Corey and Big T go next. Big T so excited to be working with Corey and really excited to possibly beat CT in this. And then they get disqualified. Darrell and Amber go and they get disqualified because Amber couldn't do it and Darrell was really annoyed with that. Fessy and Nany go and Fessy kicks Nany in the face. She had to go up for air and he got really annoyed with it and upset about it, and then at the end of it they could barely even look at each other because they were so upset. He even tried to pull her down so she wouldn't go up for air. Cam and CT go, they get their rings, and then they do the puzzle, and you see that they clash pretty severely since they both have very dominant personalities and they're fighting over how to do the puzzle and what it is and blah blah blah. Casey and Leroy go and they get their rings and they go to solve the puzzle, and it seems like they did it really fast, which I know editing, tricks you sometimes. But yeah, Leroy pulled through. He hates water and he was able to do it. And since they all have the same puzzle, I wonder if they tell each other, what it is. Like if Cam told Leroy since she went before him. Like I always wonder that. TJ says that two teams did really well and he highlights CT and Cam and Leroy and Casey. And then he's like, so the winner is Kyle and Anissa. Everyone's like, yeah, that was not nice, TJ. But yeah, it's huge that they went first and were still able to win. Seems like Kyle and CT are cool now because Kyle was saying that he really wants Leroy in and that they both have beef with Leroy. Leroy comes up with this plan to throw in Darrell and Amber. He finds that this is a way that he could be safe is if they get the house vote to be Darrell and Amber. Nany regrets picking Fessy for obvious reasons. They did not do so hot in the challenge this week. She misses Kyle and she misses working with Kyle and their relationship working together. It was just very lighthearted and funny, and now she's like, I didn't know how good I had it. And there was a point where her and CT were bonding over missing their old partners because CT and Cam clash and he misses Big T and he thinks that he would have done better in the challenge this week if he had her as a partner. So Leroy and Darrell have a talk and Darrell's upset that his name has been going around. So he makes it clear to Leroy that if he wins, he would take his partner, Casey. And Leroy's like, So eventually, Corey and Big T come to an agreement that they want to go in this week. They want to get their skulls. So they ask the house to be the house vote. We all know how that goes because it just, doesn't always happen. You don't always get what you want. Seemed pretty obvious when we saw the voting that it was going to be Darrell and Amber because Leroy has the numbers, and yeah, didn't really matter that Corey wanted to go in. It's funny, Kyle's still butthurt about being blindsided. They're seeing how the House vote went and seeing where the votes fell, and Kyle's like, so is this the moment when you and Fessy decided to blindside me? And Anissa's just laughing like, no, that was later. Kyle starts throwing ideas like, okay, what if we do Darrell versus CT? Like, the House would love that. That would be so interesting. And Anissa's like, no. He then says Fessy and Nani, and Anissa's still like, no, that's so mean. And of course, he mentions Leroy and Casey. Anissa seems more receptive to that. At the end of the day, when it's time for Kyle and Anissa to say who they want to go in, they choose friendship over revenge. They vote for Corey and Big T so they can go in and get their skulls. TJ gets right to it this week. He says it's a men's elimination and it's snapping point elimination, and this is the third rendition of it. So yeah, Corey and Darrell elimination should be interesting, but it really wasn't all that interesting. Corey flew through it. He is so quick, like he was the Flash just running through it, and it really didn't allow Darrell much time to do anything. Corey was just flying through it, and Darrell was like, can you slow down, please? Lee said Darrell was moving like honey. I mean, yeah, it's all relative in comparison to Corey. He was. Amber, so upset. You know, she was rooting for her partner, really wanting him to come back. And I'm just like, girl, don't root too much, because he said he would take Casey. Like, he would change partners. Not sure if he told her that. So yeah, Corey wins after the second round. Corey gets second point, and it's over. It seemed pretty obvious he would after that first round and how quick he went. When it came down to Corey choosing a partner, he says he wants to team up with someone who already has a skull. So that already, you know, he's not going to stay with Big T because Big T doesn't have a skull. So he steals Cam. Shocker. Everybody wants to work with Cam. I mean, she is great. And she would probably work better with Corey than she does with CT. In my head, I'm like, is the curse broken? Or is it still alive? Maybe Cam should worry. Then CT shoots his shot with Big T, and he basically wants her back, and she takes him back. It was all really cute, and yeah, CT says he wants to help her get her skull. Amber B is rogue agent. She looks pretty broken and upset. She hasn't worked with anyone but Darrell, and this is her first season, so she doesn't really know what to expect. TJ then, you know, shatters all their dreams, telling them all the skulls have been given out, but they're not in the final yet, and it is far from over. Next week, we see the old CT coming out. We see them jumping out of a plane. So yeah, should be interesting. Don't forget to like and comment your thoughts on the episode below, and subscribe. More challenge content coming your way.